I'm here. I still got wet hair. Good gracious. Look at that. Just got out of the shower, everybody. I have been ill this week. I'm not sure if I had a cold. If I had the flu, it was a very minor a bit of flu. Of course, I did have a flu shot, so it could have been the flu. Not sure. Don't care. I'm over it now. But I did just get out of the shower. Tonight, we're going to have, as you'll throw the picture up of the banner, we have special guest, Shelley. We are going to bring her out in just 1 minute or two, and after other considerations, and we'll be talking about both the Masonic Lodge and the Boyd House, and something about a second annual convention in September. So we got a lot to talk about. So let's just go ahead and get the considerations out of the way. Get a sponsor thing real quick. We'll throw up the picture of the lady. That one, yeah. New Orleans Paranormal Society. They have tours in New Orleans. If you're going down New Orleans sometime, contact them. The contact information is on this picture. Right there. Address, phone number, etc. And you can have your tour of the Andrew Hotel, the Andrew Jackson Hotel, pardon me, and other places. They will take you behind slave quarters behind the Voodoo House. I know I've been in these places. They are haunted. So if you're going down New Orleans sometime, bring along your gear, bring along your senses, and have you a good ghost hunt. All right, now they're also doing in July 31st. Hello, External Exo Pack. So go ahead and throw up the video. They are doing a small Paracon starting July 31st. Okay, we have closed the door on that. Be sure and get your tickets up down to $300 for certain packages for 2 people. And it's hard to find a Paracon with that group of people for that price. Various package on their website. Get your package today. Now let's go ahead and open up the show. Let's get another creaky door going. All right. Now let's bring out our guest. Special guest coming up. We're going to learn all about Jill Shelley. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Len. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Love to talk to you. You got information on places I've never been to.
Yeah, so, they're in the middle of nowhere.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about you, your background, for those that are watching the show now and don't know.
Yeah, so I've always kind of been fascinated by the paranormal since I was a young kid. And I had kind of my first experience when I was young at my grandma's house, which kind of fueled my passion, I guess, for the paranormal, because I kind of was left with questions of like, what was the ghost? Now I'm all fascinated by ghosts. So that kind of led me into where I am today. But in 2010 is when I met a great group of people that I work with, a couple that I work with, and we found more people. But we founded a group called St. Croix Paranormal. And we just kind of started out doing, local businesses, private homes. Then we just started traveling around the country to well-known haunted locations, just in search of answers and researching. And then I kind of got a little bit into a little bit of the video editing. And so then we kind of started producing our own little fun show, which is Paranormal Patrol, which is on YouTube. But we actually used to have it running on a channel in local cable here in Minnesota. So that was kind of fun. So we did that for a while, and we still do some of the YouTube stuff. We just don't get out as much as we used to. We've had a lot of changes with our groups and life changes and stuff. So we kind of do 1 or 2 trips a year nowadays. So that's kind of where I was at. And then doing all our travels and such, that kind of made me think of, gosh, this would be kind of cool to get your own haunted location. So that's how I ended up with the Boyd House. And then a couple of years later, I decided to add another addition and did the Masonic Lodge.
Cool. By the way, I hate all the extracurricular activity. Let's just leave it at that. This is going on in Minnesota. I feel bad for that. We should never happen. Sorry that happened to your state.
Yeah, it's been a tragedy. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I feel bad for all of it.
Yeah.
But let's just leave it there. We don't get in politics here, and I'm just sorry your whole state's having to go through all that mess. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. Really
but your two of your locations are, of course, the two pictured on the banner that I put out, the Boyd House and the Masonic Lodge.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about each location?
Yeah. So the Boyd House, that's my baby. She was my first one. So I'm very, very partial to her and the spirits that live there. But that particular house was built in 1901. But our deed actually goes back to 1889 when it was actually owned by the Minneapolis and St. Louis Railroad. And the tracks still run pretty much behind the property to this day. So you can hear the train, feel the train when it comes by. We haven't had we had, a few families, from 1901 to 1912 that lived there, but I didn't find anything like unusual or anything strange. But the most prevalent family that we have there is the Eckhart family, and they moved in there in 1912. And Fred Eckhart ended up being a very well respected man in town. So he owned a very high end type grocery store, and they sold like furs and shoes, and they made their own bologna. He was also on the fire department. He was the helped build the Lutheran Church, Justice of the Peace, and on the school board. So he very well respected man in town. He passed away in the home, as well as his wife Minnie, and her funeral was actually held there for 3 days in the home. We have one of those cool, really old, a lot of the homes where they had the windows, the bay windows and stuff. So that's where her casket was for 3 days. Two of their children passed away in the home. One was he choked to death, and he was probably about 3, I believe. And then the other one was during infancy. And then we had a woman in the 70s die of a stroke. So those are the confirmed deaths that we know of. But we've had a few psychics say that there's stuff that happened there that you're never going to find any history on. The town itself of Boyd was butted up against the Sioux Dakota reservation line. And back in the day, this was pretty much a Wild West town. I have, pictures of, them wagons with the horses tied outside. It was a really big booming town. They had about 500 and some people in town. They had mills and restaurants. They even had a movie theater.
Really?
They just had everything. They were huge. Now it's nothing. It's pretty much a ghost town, literally.
Have much rowdy behavior there?
Yeah. Not there, no. At the house we do. The ghosts can get rowdy. But
I was talking, if you said it was kind of a Wild West town, I was wondering if you had Wild West activity going on, many bars and.
Yeah, no, we are kitty corner from a bar, but it's a small town. There's like maybe 150 people left in town. It's more of a farming community. So the house is located right in town. So it is kind of like if you were any normal city area, where you have your residential houses, that's how it is, but it's very small. And then everything on the outskirts is pretty much farm, because to get to Boyd, you pretty much drive through a bunch of cornfields, and then there's this little tiny town, and then that's it. So, it's just a little bit smaller area, but the house itself is kitty corner from town, so you can see the corner of town. So I can imagine there was also some things going on there that could have happened. But we hear of a lot of different. It's an older town, 1889 or 1881 it was founded. So there's just a lot of history. So there are quite a few of the buildings there that are allegedly haunted. I've heard of a few people in town say their house is haunted as well. So they don't really like to talk about it. They're kind of a hush hush on that kind of thing. But so. And even when I purchased the house too, the lady, she was an elderly couple that were selling, and they were real hesitant to talk about it. They still to this day deny if people ask them about what happened there, but they said they would hear old-timey music sometimes. Their kids would see a man around the house sometimes, just weird behaviors, or not behaviors, just weird things that they would see and experience. And I've had people come forward now too that have said, "Oh, I knew that family," or "I knew the family before that, and when we'd sleep over, something would touch my feet, or I would hear something, or we saw a man." So the history of the hauntings goes back quite a ways. But I also think now I bought it in 2018, so we've had it for several years now. I do believe that a lot of things that we have done with the house, I think may have possibly opened a potential portal. We get a lot of spirits in there that just come through. Some say they're passing by. Some have told me, "Oh, I came through the hallway," and so I think they're just drawn to the house itself. We do have some ghost children that are permanently there, and I don't know why, because and they're older, so they're not like the 3-year-old that had passed away. They're a little bit older. To me, I believe they're probably like 10 and 12.
Preteen.
Yeah, one boy, one girl. So we get that quite frequently, but again, we have no recollection of why. One medium told me, she's like, they just like it there, so that's why they're there. But yeah, so we just have a whole gamut of men, women, children at the house. It gets crazy there. It gets better every year, I swear. We just
So
get more activity.
you own this house, correct?
I do own the house. Hi, Laura.
Oh, Laura.
Yeah, I do. I bought it in 2018. That was my first one. I just kind of was, my realtor knew I was looking for something haunted, but people don't advertise, hey, here's my house, it's haunted. So I just was the one going through the MLS and picking things that I had a gut instinct feeling that, something could be there. And then we would go down and, do a mini investigation. And I've done, we had looked at other properties, but it was just kind of when I saw the Boyd house, I just knew in my heart that was the house, that I just knew it. But we did get a little bit of activity just in the hour or two that we were there investigating. And I think we got, if I recall, we had a woman on the spirit box say, "Who are you?" which makes sense because nobody had been in the house for a year. And then I think there's our REM pod went off at one point, and just a few other little things on the spirit box. And I was a little, not sure if that was, enough to buy it, but I checked with a medium I really trusted, and she told me a bunch of things that came true after I purchased it, and then reaching out to the owners as well. So then I thought, well, let's just take a leap of faith and we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. So,
all right. You open it up for investigations for the public?
Yes, I do. Well, anybody can rent it. We did mostly cater to the paranormal community that does like investigations, have their own equipment, things like that. So we do. I think being an investigator has helped. Modeled some of the time and that we allow people in. The price, I try to keep it as I have to cover my expenses and such. So I try to keep that, but we offer people, they can come in at 3 p.m. and stay till noon the next day. We allow up to 8 people just because you could bring more, but I kind of feel because of the way the house is set up, it's that old fashioned with the grates in between, so you can really hear between the floors. So I feel like if you get too many people, you're not getting the best experience, and I do want people to have a really good experience. We do get quite a good feedback on things, that people capture and stuff. If anyone goes on YouTube and types in the Boyd house, you'll have years of things to look at that people have captured, things that I have captured as well. But yeah, and then we also I do have a small amount of paranormal equipment. It's mostly my stuff that I don't use anymore. Or it's halfway broken, but it still works. So I bring that down there and I leave that there for people. And then we get a lot of, the spirit balls because those are dirt cheap, so we have some of those. So just a few things, and we got a little manual together. And that's, for people who just want to come and just experience maybe the paranormal. But, you and I know as investigators or anybody out there that's investigator, it's not like TV. You're just usually sitting going, hello, do something, please. So I feel like if somebody who doesn't do this on a regular basis, it kind of makes it more fun for them and gives them something to kind of get into where they're just not like, this is stupid. So,
How many floors do you have?
We have, I believe it's 4. So we have the basement, which is, it's considered a finished basement, but it floods sometimes. So we don't put anything down there but plastic chairs and stuff. So we have some decorations and stuff, but that's a pretty good hot spot there. And then we have the main level. So that's got the kitchen, the parlor, and the living room up there. And then upstairs we have, we technically have different bedrooms, but I changed things. So we have the 2 rooms up there, the girls' room, the boys' room, the library, and then the master bedroom, a bathroom. And then there's also like an undercrawl space that you can go in that they use for storage, but we get quite a bit of activity in that area as well. And ironically, I didn't even know that was there for probably the first 6 months I owned the house, because
really
it blended in. So it was all paneling, and so it was all pushed tight. So I just thought it was the end of the hall. I didn't even know there was a door there until the old owner was talking and said, "Hey, did you ever find anything under the?" She was at the end of the hall. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "I here, I'll show you." And then she whips it open, and she's like, "We used to play in here as kids." And I'm like, "Oh, no room!" So,
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, so that was like a bonus place. And then upstairs we have the attic, which runs the full length of the house. So,
Oh, wow. Fully floored?
yeah, it's fully, yeah, the whole gamut of the house, and it's a really tall house because I like had the roof put on shortly after I bought it because I needed a new roof. The guy's like, because he's like a customer, he goes, your house is really tall, right? I'm like, yeah, I am quite aware of that. So yeah, it's kind of creepy when you go up in the attic and then like you look out the windows and you're so high up and you're just looking over the whole town. It's like, ooh, get a little vertigo.
But that's probably a pretty good view.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, you can spy on a lot of people.
But people can investigate all these floors.
Oh yeah, for sure. When you rent it, you are the only one there. And yeah, so you have the full run of the house. So you can do your investigation the way you want to. In fact, I don't even meet you there. I give you a code to get in. So it's like,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
How much money are we talking about for renting it?
$225
And this is for how long?
from 3 p.m. till noon the next day.
3 in the afternoon till noon.
Right. And we have
That's
snacks. People love our snacks.
that's 21 hours. Am I correct? Can I still do math at my age?
I don't know. It's quite a bit, because the way I thought about it, you get there at 3, you take all this time to set your stuff up, and then now you can have dinner, and then after dinner you can investigate for a while, and then you can stay up half the night, and then you can sleep in, and then get up and drive home. So it's not so rushed. I know, like places I've been to, you got to be out at 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. But yeah, you want to get the most in, so you want to stay up. But then somebody like me, I'm usually the driver, so I don't get to investigate all night. I'm the one who's got to go to bed because I got to sleep. So I feel like I miss out on stuff. So that was kind of one, as we traveled around to different locations, we were like, what would we do if we had our own place? What are the things that we would like? What do we want? So that's kind of how we geared a lot of our practices for.
And where can people get the price and other perks? And you got a website? I'm gathering.
Yeah. So the Boyd House is boydhouse217.com. So that's got all the information there. It's got information history. There's a little video, pictures, the contact us, the calendar that's available for rental. So, and we're open 365 days a year. If you want to brave it in the wintertime, you're certainly welcome to. We are a fully functioning house. And in inclement weather, I do allow rescheduling because I'm not gonna. I would feel bad if somebody got stuck. They shut those roads down in the winter sometimes, or if anybody got hurt. So I'm more, I know a lot of places are like strict policy of, well, you don't come too bad, but I'm not like that. So I do allow, especially if the weather's going to be bad, to reschedule.
I gather you have heat, and of course, you better have heat. And do you have AC for the summertime?
We just have 2 window units, one upstairs, one downstairs. It keeps it comfortable. It's not like super icy cold like you would have central air. We've been toying with probably putting that in at some point, getting some central air in as well, because then we can monitor that. Because I do know when I go there and it gets a little hot upstairs. So even with a small unit.
Can I make a slight suggestion here?
Sure.
All right. I have my house here, the one that I'm in, was not designed for central heat and air. And to build the closets for the internal unit and running the ductwork would have been very hard in this house because it was not built to run ductwork through, like yours is not. And I got estimates of between $20,000 and $25,000. And this is a 1-floor house.
Wow. Well, I do know that they did put a brand new furnace in it the year I bought it. So, and I do see ducts running through. So it could work, but I have to get a quote on it before I
Right.
decide on that too.
You could look at mini splits.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the mini splits I'll show you. That's what you have in your room.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
Ductworks are outside, and I got one in this room, one in the next room, and it cools most of this house. And I've got the smallest of units.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Into that.
and the ducts are, you got metal running on the outside, but the unit's sitting right here outside to my right.
Mm.
And I put both of these units in for slightly over $4,000.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
And you could put one of these on each floor, or a little bit bigger unit, and you have units with 2 heads or 3 heads. That's a head you saw.
Mm.
And you might just talk to your air conditioning people and see what they can come up with. But when they say mini split, this is what they're talking about. It works great.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to check
And
into that.
maybe you might can get it cool for half the price of trying to run a central unit.
Mm-hmm.
And that head's all you have inside. Okay, now that we got all the air conditioning set up,
We're solving all our maintenance problems today.
Mm-hmm. One more time, what was the website?
BoydHouse217.com.
BoydHouse217.com. All right, let's go to the other location.
Yeah, so that one's in Illinois, so a little bit farther for me, being in Minnesota. But after I had the Boyd house and kind of did a lot of renovations, I thought I'd like to try a bigger location. Now, Illinois was not my first choice, but when I saw this building, I'm like, oh my God, this is the one. I got to have this building. I just fell in love with it right away. So that is the 1861 Masonic Lodge. It was actually first the Arlington Hotel, and they used that as a brothel as well. So it wasn't until the 1900s that it actually became the Masonic Lodge. And then it stood abandoned for probably about 5 years, I think I was told, before I ended up purchasing it. So it's only been a couple of things, but it's got quite a bit of history there. We haven't found any relatives of death, but during investigation, we have experienced men, women, and children, both Masons and people from the hotel days. So it's just been incredible. We're just kind of now starting to delve into. I've only had it coming up now on 2.5 years. Just trying to get some of the history on it, which is a little difficult because we're talking 1900s. It's hard to find. Plus, especially since it's just been a Masonic Lodge, they don't really talk about a lot of stuff. But I did find a lot of old newspaper articles. They had like one of the world's largest picnics back in, I believe it was 1912, I think it was. They had over 500 people, which back then was a lot. And a lot of people traveled by train to come to this big picnic put on them by the Masons. They had all kinds of like gunny sack races and prizes and food. And so, yeah, that was kind of interesting. And they were always just raising money. They had a square dance once. So,
wow.
Yeah,
a lot of activity there.
Yeah, so we're just still kind of learning a little bit about what's going on there. But like I said, we've just coming up on year 3 here, so we're only open seasonal at the lodge because we do not have heat and we do not have power at the lodge. Still kind of toying with putting electric in just for the fact that I kind of like when my EMF stuff works because it works really good there, and you have nothing there to say, oh, that's what would cause it. I think one of the weirdest things I had with the electrical is I had the EMF tripwires, and I had laid them out like in front of me just in a line. And I was the only one in the building, and I was just kind of talking, and I said, hey, let's have a morning prayer because it was early morning. And I have some Masonic books there, prayer books and such. And so I just grabbed one. I just started reading a scripture, I don't really know what it pertained to. But then you started getting that electric feel around you, and all of a sudden, one by one, coming at me, those lights were going off. And then when it got right to me, I felt like I got an electric shock on the bottom of my foot, like I touched an electric fence. So, and I had to pull my foot up off the floor. And that was just the weirdest thing. And there is no power to this building
I, I,
whatsoever.
I was about to emphasize that. You're talking about this in a building with no power connected.
Right, right. And even, there is a electrical box there because they did have power at one time. And I've even taken like a K2 meter over to it. Nothing. I mean, it's dead. It's not giving off any residual energy or anything like that. I've run it across the floors, everything. Like I'm get Zippo, nothing. But then to get these things to go off, and we've put the EMFs all over the buildings, and they go off in all different locations. I run them down hallways, downstairs, things like that, and it's just incredible. So that's why I was like, oh, I don't know if I want power, but maybe I might put it on just like a section so people can use it. But then I'm like, I don't know. When I come, I bring a power box, so I just use that. So,
where in Illinois is this located?
This is more of like I'm really bad with it because I don't live there. It's more on the Mississippi River side. So we are kind of more like in the lower corner. We're right, or Muscatine, Iowa. We're 3 hours from St. Louis, Missouri. So we're down in that area.
Oh, you're north of St. Louis.
Yeah.
But you're south of Springfield. Is that correct, or about even with it?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got river activity.
Yep, we do. Yep.
A lot of energy there. You said something about a railroad that used to run there for picnics. Is the railroad track still there?
Yep, you can see it right out. It's just, it's not far. You can see it right from the building. So, yeah.
That could conduct power to you. There's, anything that can conduct power. Rock, running water, and steel ribbons that's been there for a long time can bring stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I'm assuming this is a 1-floor place.
No, we do have a basement. It's real small. It's an old brick building, built by the Masons, of course. So we got the small basement, and then so it's a total of 4,000 square feet. So on the lower level, you just kind of make the loop around. It's got the kitchen and what the dining room is. We have what is the blue room, but later I found out that's where they would serve the food. And then the other 2 rooms were gathering rooms, and that's where they would just talk and gather. Then you go upstairs, and you either go left or right. And I was told because they actually shared this with the Eastern Star, which is the female version of the Mason. So one was for the females, one was for the males to get ready. And then you go through that and you come into the big, huge, basically the temple. So it's got the 4 corners, because they do north, south, east, west. So it's got the places you stand. There's altars on both ends. They actually used to have there's a projection room too. They used to show movies that back in the day too. They told me that they would watch. He didn't tell me what they watched, but he said they would watch movies. They didn't tell me much. They're interesting enough. So I had one of the Master Masons stop by after I'd bought it, and I was there cleaning, and he just stopped in to say hello and introduce himself. And then after we kind of did our to-dos, he said, "Have you seen her?" And I said, "Seen who?" And he goes, "The woman. She roams the halls. I've seen her multiple times when I'm here by myself." And so that was really reassuring to have somebody tell me that there is for sure spirits there, because I really had 2 hours in this building before I bought it, and I didn't really get a whole lot of evidence while I was there. I got like 3 EVPs, which is fine enough for me because I didn't pick those up anywhere else. I got them there. So I knew it was haunted. And then we also had the mayor was telling us a story where somebody she knew had come in after an event the next day when they were cleaning up. And she walked in. There was a woman on her hands and knees scrubbing the floor. They said hello. She walked in the kitchen, said, "Who's scrubbing the floor?" They're like, "Nobody." They walk back out there. There's nobody there. So it was, just kind of that, kind of, and everybody in town now that I know it, they're all really cool. I love the town. They're awesome people. They're all very into ghosts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the lady at the lodge. Oh yeah, we've seen her. We've seen her. She's in the halls." So it's a long-standing story. That town is pretty much haunted. Pretty much, I've learned every building in that place is haunted. Even one guy's like, "I live across the street in that big house. It's haunted. We got like 3 ghosts over there." So I was like, "Let me know if you ever want to sell." So,
How big is this town?
500. So it bigger than Boyd, but still small.
Okay. That is cool. Now, your other location, I did forget to ask you, where is it located in Minnesota? Minnesota is a pretty good sized state.
Yeah, that's it. That's Southwest Minnesota. So it's Boyd, Minnesota, real original with the Boyd House name. But at the time, I didn't have any history. I don't know. Boyd kind of fits it. I don't know if the Eckert House would have fit that, even though that was their home. So yeah, it's about 145 miles southwest of the Twin Cities.
Okay. I was wondering how close to Canada you were. You're talking about how cold it got. Of course, having lived in Chicago for 14 years, I know what cold is.
Oh, it gets brutal here. 25, 30 below sometimes. It's really cold.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And down here in Arkansas, we don't have that.
Yeah. We're having a weird, because it's January and it's 30 degrees right now, which is unusual, and it's raining. And that is unusual. So we're going to have a real fun drive tomorrow at work when it's frozen.
Our rain starts hitting tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe tonight slowly, and we're supposed to get about 2 inches through the weekend.
Yeah, but yours isn't freezing rain. See, we get that. No. So now I'm going to have a nice ice rink when I go to work tomorrow. It's going to be super fun.
We're going to have highs in the 50s for the foreseeable future. The next 10 or 12 days. So no ice, no ice rink. So you're going to have your skates on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a fun drive in. That's for sure.
Now, I'm assuming you own this place.
Yes.
What do you charge, and for how long can people investigate, and where can they find it?
Yeah, same time frame. We do that 3 p.m. till noon the next day as well. That one is $350 for the night. And then our website for that one is haunted1861masonic.com, which I really apologize for the long thing, but I thought it was cool at first. But now that you have to type it in all the time, I should have made it shorter. So.
Well, you just made yourself a lot of typing.
Yes, I know.
Is it just one floor, you say?
No, that's got the basement, the main level, and then the upstairs. Yeah, so 2 floors and a basement.
You got a lot of square footage, though.
Yeah, 4,000 square feet. So it's a lot bigger, because Boyd is just under 2,000 square feet. I believe it's like 19 something. So it's about twice the size as the Boyd house.
Wow. That's a good size location, though.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's better. I mean, I really want a big giant hospital, but it's nice to just start with something smaller to manage. So, but I think that's going to be it. I mean, I thought about getting a third, but it's just a lot of work. So I'm just going to stick with my 2. I dream big. That's my problem. I dream big.
I think we all do. Now, if somebody wanted to bed down for the morning before they drive away, is there someplace for them to bed down? They got to bring their own knapsack.
No, the Boyd house, like I said, we're fully functioning. So I do have a bed upstairs. Right. Most people bring air mattresses. We have furniture in there, recliners and things like that. But the lodge is pretty much your bare bones, basic. It's rustic. You're roughing it while you're out there. We do have a porta potty available, so we do actually have a bathroom people can use. But yeah, you can do. When I go there, I just bring an air mattress and a power box so I can get some power and get things blown up. But we do have a little thing with one of the local lodges in town, the Lazy Acres Lodge, and she gives you a really good discount if you say you're staying at the lodge. I think those are like $65 a night for the to stay at the lodge, and
Not
She's
bad.
got a really nice room we stayed in, and it was all, she's got, each room has like different themes, so we got like this Western theme because one of the beds had like a stagecoach station wagon over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fun little place, and it's literally like maybe a 5-minute drive, just basically down the
What's
street.
the name of the place, and do they have a website?
Yeah, I don't know their website offhand, but I know you can find it on Facebook. It's Lazy Acres Lodge in Keysburg.
Lazy Acres Lodge. That's a
Yep,
cute
in
name.
Keysburg. Yep, in Keysburg, Illinois. So yeah, she's great for her to do that discount for us. So, and I know she said people have taken advantage of it because not having the power or the electric or things like that. Some people just they'll stay till 2, 3 in the morning, but then they want a place they can crash.
Right. What I'd like to do is get a Jackery. Do you know what they are? Rechargeable power units.
Okay.
Look up Jackery.com. You can charge them up if you got the hotel room. You could charge it up in the hotel room or before you even come. And you got power for devices, a small light. You got electrical device, and depending on the size you get, you could have power for 3 or 4 hours or all night if you want, if you got a bigger unit, and plug in several devices.
Yeah, that's like the one we have it's a small little box, but you can plug in things. I use it to blow up my air mattresses, things like that. So that gets me through. And then, now they have those little boxes too that you can just buy. And then we use that to power our phones so we don't use that box as much. So yeah, we make do, and we have lanterns, battery operated lanterns these days. So honestly, you really don't need, I kind of figure, if you're ghost hunting, you don't have the lights on anyway. So it's like,
Sure. What I would do is go in there with some of my studio lights. You notice these are black light, not posters. They're tapestries. Those are the black light over my head.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is go into the main area that I wanted to investigate, blow up an air mattress, turn on a camera or two, turn on UV lights, and see what happens.
Interesting.
Just sit there in the quiet on an air mattress. I'm not making any hoof prints or noises on the floor, and just be quiet for a while, and have the electrical run UV lights, and maybe have an IR light in there, and sit there with a full spectrum camera and take pictures and shoot a little video.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I did. Try that you said it's 2 floors.
Yeah.
Try it for a little while on the first floor. You have all night. Your drivers is safely and tucked in their beds in the hotel. So anybody who's not driving can snooze in the car the next day. You can get them an air mattress, sit there above the floor, and then do 1 floor for a while, go upstairs, carry their air mattress and the lighting up there, the Jackery, whatever, and set up on the other floor and see what goes on there at night.
Yeah, there you go. I have slept there a couple times. I never had anything weirdly weird happen in the middle of the night. I mean, we have stuff, but nothing's really bothered me while I'm sleeping. So that's been good. But yeah, we've heard footsteps, doors, sounds of door handles jiggling, audible voices, a lot of equipment interaction. Those are the kind of things. We had a cupboard slam on us one time too.
Really?
The first time my whole team came to investigate, one of the girls, so it was October, so it was cold, so we kind of just had one room closed off with the space heater running, and just to stay warm, but we wanted to keep our food cold, and we don't have a refrigerator, so we just kept it in a different room so it was cold. She went out there to make a sandwich, and all of a sudden I just heard this bam, and I thought, gosh, she dropped the cooler on the floor. I can't believe she dropped the cooler on the floor. This was my first, that's what it sounded like to me. And she comes busting through the kitchen door. It's one of those push doors, And she's like, something just slammed something behind me. So, we went, she said, that freaked me out. She goes, I never thought I'd run, but I was scared. I didn't expect it. But we just kind of tried to figure out what it was, because at the time I didn't even really have furniture in there. I didn't really have anything in there. So we couldn't find anything that had fallen, anything that made that. The only thing that made that sound, and we'd always have somebody in the other room and just say, "Did it sound like there was it this?" It was taking a cupboard door, opening it, and slamming it. That was
Wow.
exactly what we. Later, when we were doing like a Estes method, they said it was a spirit. I believe they said, I can't remember the name, but they said he just did it because he thought it was fun.
Well, that's the kind of spirits you want to investigate, the kind that want to have fun, make a little noise, maybe communicate with you, rather than the ones trying to run you off.
Right. Yeah, we've never even at the Boyd house, or that I've never had any bad anything malevolent, mean, anything like that. Boyd house, we do have George in the basement. He's a little crabby, but that's just he doesn't want anybody in his room, so he's not like evil or anything like that. We do have a lot of haunted objects and things at the house. We do have one particular painting that we received from a lady that she found it on the side of the road. It's this really weird painting of a monkey sitting in red chair by a tree, but it's in a house, and you see the outside of the house, and around the edge of the painting where you actually have to take it and turn it to read it is a story about monkeys, which when my friend first did it, I said, "You think you're opening a portal by reading that and turning it?" But so anyway, the lady never really liked it. She said that she always felt like something was staring at her, but her husband became extremely obsessed with this particular painting. She wouldn't allow it in the house, so it was in the basement, or sorry, in his garage. But she would find him just standing there staring at it for like hours, and he eventually committed suicide in front of this painting.
Oh, wow.
So she didn't want anything to do with it. She couldn't figure it out. Not saying that people who on the outside perceive that they're happy, but inside they're really depressed. But she said that she couldn't figure it out because they had a great life. They both made good money. They had kids. They kind of had it all. So she can't figure it out unless it was something he kept inside. But she felt that it was due to the painting. So we took it, of course, because we're weird like that. But
Where is it now?
it's in what I call in the boys' room. And the first day we had it there, I said, "What do you think of the painting?" And my friend was doing an Estes session, and it said, "Monkey, evil, get rid of it." But it's still there. So, but I don't engage with it much. I don't, because I can see if you saw the painting, I think you can really get engaged of just staring into it if you really wanted to, because it's very detailed. So I just choose not to really do that. And I don't know, maybe that's just me thinking that something might happen if I get involved with it, but it's just there. I will tell you, I was just there this weekend doing some cleaning, and I was in that room. We also have a doll in there that's supposedly not a nice haunted doll. I went to grab the vacuum cleaner out of the closet, and I've never liked that closet, honestly, from day one. I never like to keep my back to it. I do not like to go in it. I do not like to be by it. I just get a weird vibe from it. But when I grabbed the vacuum cleaner out of there, something growled at me. Yeah. And I just pretended like it didn't happen because I didn't want him to know I was freaking out or anything. So I just kept on my way. But, they can feel that anyway, because they're very intelligent at the Boyd house. They do really interact with you. They do talk to you. But again, doing another Estes session. My friend Teresa is very open, and the conversations that we have through Estes is actually way incredible. It is like having a conversation like you and I have been having all night. And she can tell me exactly what I'm doing. Like if I get up, she'll be like, "Where are you going?" Like she,
Really?
yeah. So we have these crazy conversations. But there was one time, and we were in the library at the Boyd house, and I was having a conversation with somebody, and I just kind of said, "Well, where are you?" And she's like, "I'm looking right at you." And I'm like, oh. So now I'm like, it's me and her, which kind of feel like you're by yourself because she's blindfolded. She don't know what's going on. And I'm like looking around, and she's like, "It's okay. You don't have to be afraid." And I was nervous, and I said,
Of course.
I said, no, I'm not afraid. She goes, I can feel your fear. So I was like, crap, you can't even put it over on a ghost.
You sound like you have some interesting spirits in these two locations.
Oh yeah, they're there. So yeah, we have so many spirits, but yeah, they really do enjoy talking, I think, with the people as long as you're respectful.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah, we've had some great experience. Like even at the lodge, like the first time we were there with the whole team and we did a Estes, and I said, "Do you understand what I'm trying to do here? You know, I'm like trying to renovate your building. I want to bring it back. I want to, like I talked to them all about that because they never really had anybody really encounter or interact or talk with them and things like that. So he said he did respect that what we were doing and that we were welcome there. So they're really happy. I think that people are coming to talk to them, and we get a lot of good feedback from people, especially at the lodge too, being new. A lot of voices and interactions and touching and things like that. So and I think and I just kind of know this because when I got the Boyd House, again, nobody really interacted with them. So you go to these haunted locations that people go to 100 times a day, the spirits get to know what a REM pod is. They get to know what a K2 meter, like they know all that. But when you're starting from scratch, you don't, there's like, oh, I'm not touching that flashing light. I don't know what that is, So like it took them a really long time to really start interacting with things. And now that they know that it's not going to hurt them, things have just really escalated. And sometimes I think they get bored because it's like, REM pod, give me something new. So I kind of feel like when I see people, like when I watch videos and stuff, and it's like maybe a new piece of equipment or maybe a new technique or something, it seems like it will go off more or it'll interact with them more because it's not the same old, same old. So yeah, I think they get bored too, just like we do.
Of course. They used to be human.
Right. Well, to me, they still are. So I just talk to them all the time, all day long. So it's like when I'm there, they're probably like, "Oh, shut up, lady." So like,
they sound like they're your friends.
They are.
And you can have friends on the other side.
That's right. Yeah, they really do. I'm not as close to the ones at the lodge because I don't get there as often as I get to the Boyd House. The Boyd House to me is they're more like my family, honestly, because I'll just come in there and hey, how's it going? I've heard even this weekend too, besides that growl, I heard 2 audible voices of men twice. Once I woke up in the middle of the night and like I said, we have the old floor grates so you can hear what's going on. And I heard we have our cabinets in the kitchen are like the 1950s metal tin cabinets. So I specifically heard that ting. And then I heard a man speak, and I was like, oh, did someone get in the house? I'm the only one here. I don't like this. And then so I stayed awake and I listened more just to make sure I didn't hear any movement, nothing, no more voices, no nothing. And then I realized, okay, well, I was going, so I went back to sleep. But then when I was leaving too, I said, okay, well, Fred, thanks for everything, you guys, appreciate, blah, blah, blah. And I turned, and as I went out, and I didn't catch what he said, but it was super loud, and it was a man's voice, and he said 2 words. I didn't catch what he actually had said to me, but I just assumed it was like, thank you or something, so I said it back. So hopefully that's what it was.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's different every time you go there. Sometimes it's quiet, too, when you don't get nothing. But for the most part, you get some sort of experiences at either location. So.
Well, let me ask you this question. You also talked about in your short bio something about a Paracon.
Oh, yes. So I did a Paracon for the first time last year at the Boyd House. It was a huge success. We had about 200 people show up. Really good feedback. So we thought, well, let's try it again. So this year we're doing it again, September 26th. And so yeah, we'll just have different workshops, speakers. We have psychics, mediums. We have 2 haunted museums coming. We have the Chicago Haunted Museum and the Museum of Lost Souls will be there with their haunted items, different workshops you can attend. And then Friday, we thought we'd do a little bit kickoff. We do have ghost investigations at the Boyd House Friday and Saturday night. And Friday night, we're kind of doing, we call it the light and laughter. So we actually have comedian Nathan Holtz, and he actually won the 2023 Last Comic Standing. So he will be performing for about an hour. And then we have psychic Don Marlette, and he'll be doing a 90-minute gallery reading with everybody that's there. And then we have a band called the Speakeasies that will be performing after that. So that'll be like our Friday kickoff event. And then Saturday all day, we have different workshops. We have Brooke Ashley. She's a phenomenal, up and coming, amazing medium. So she will be doing a 90-minute gallery reading as well. Different speakers. We don't have any of like the famous people, but I feel like that's not necessary to make a successful Paracon, although those are super great. And I have a lot of fun going to those ones with the famous people. I like to give people who are a little less well-known an opportunity to present themselves, because there are a lot of really good people out there that have a lot of talents that need to be recognized. And so that's kind of how I present my Paracon for people. So it should be a really good time.
Is there any cost involved to go to this Paracon?
Yeah, it's just like $5 to get in. We do the workshops are like 25, except Brooks is 30 because she's doing a 90-minute. It's 45 for the Friday night event. But otherwise, the speakers are free. It's just if you want to attend some of the workshops. We got Kat Armstrong. She's going to be doing a haunted objects workshop. So she's got a couple haunted objects that she's going to do some stuff that people can do some interaction with and learn about haunted objects, why they're haunted, how to tell, all that kind of stuff. So a couple different gallery readings. We got Michelle Roos is doing something on spiritual abuse, and she's doing a talk on angels and demons. She's a demonologist, so I think that'll be really interesting. I got a guy coming in from New York, Don Winter. He just put out a book called "You're Going to Die Anyway, Right?" So it's a near-death experience that he has researched thoroughly with many people and from many different, all across the world. And I tell you, I read his book and it was fascinating. It's opened my whole eyes. Like, I'm just really like, you guys got to get this book, because you'll start really thinking about different things in the afterlife after reading his book. So he's going to come talk about that.
I'm sure he'll have some books if anybody wants his autograph in the books.
Right. Yeah. He said he'll have some of the hard copies by then. But right now you can just get it through Amazon. So yeah, people check that out. That's Don Winter. If You're Going to Die Anyway, right? So it's a good one. It
is a talent everybody has.
Yes.
I've never met an immortal.
Right.
Now, if people want more information on this Paracon, or want to get a ticket, where can they get it?
You can find us on Eventbrite if you just go under Boyd Paranormal Convention. But if you want to just like kind of browse through everything and click, just go to the website, boydhouse217.com again. We have a whole drop-down page all about the convention, and then there's a button you can click that'll take you over to Eventbrite so you can purchase your tickets.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, it'll be good.
What I'd like to do is have you back on the show after the New Orleans Paracon, which is kind of big for us.
Yes, I saw you guys had some amazing lineups going there. It's like, ooh, look at that one.
And our own Triana is going to be one of the guests. You saw that on the video. If you could make I made that video in about 20 minutes on Canva.
Okay, yeah, I just was on Canva and I noticed they do video stuff now. I'm like, where have I been? So that's the best thing to do.
the opening video with the creaking door.
Yes.
And the video advertising the Paracon.
Okay.
Were both made using all Canva devices.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that. Like I said, I just discovered that like about a week ago when I was doing a poster for the convention, and I was like, wait, what is this video? When did that pop up? So it's like,
now to get use of the stuff like I did, you have to give them some money to use some of the nice stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not expensive at all for a year. And you can
I already bought it for a year. I think they said
you already bought it? Okay, you're set.
Yeah, I think they said something like this is included with your subscription. I'm like, okay, amazing.
Yeah, and you saw what I put together using strictly Canva stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely gotta check that out, because
So put a video together with the Paracon, pictures of your guests, and I think we might can talk Gwen and just showing it on some of the shows.
Oh, awesome. I would so appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. I'll work on that here in our cold winter months we got going on. So,
And like I said, after we get back to New Orleans Con, which is July 31st, August 1st and 2nd, we can start showing that the second week of August.
okay, that's
And
perfect. Yeah, because it's coming up in September. So, yeah.
It just goes right along one to the other, and we can hopefully get some people there to you.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate that, Len.
So that'd be on Gwen, and I think we can talk her into it.
Yeah, she seems like she would do that.
She's a nice person.
Yeah, she seemed that way. Easy,
regardless what people say. She's a nice person. And you see then in the chat, Gwen says, "Yes, I will."
Perfect.
And Litriana also says, "Yes, I will."
Awesome.
External Actual Pack Paranormal says, "Yes, I will." And he may be somebody, since he lives in the region, that you might can talk into coming to your Paracon.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when you type it in there, you got the same message. That's what happens when you type in and you're connected to various sites. But we have a network. That's why it's called a network. And that's what happens when you put posts out on one of the network things. It all goes to the other.
Yeah. Well, and everybody I've met in the paranormal community are just amazing. Always helpful, nice people. I've always had such good results with meeting people at Paracons, podcasts, things like that. It's just a great community.
Yes, it is. People get helpful hints back and forth. You can learn stuff. I think it's amazing that you actually got a band and a comedian at your Paracon. That is interesting.
Well, I just thought, what would be kind of fun? And then I'm like, well, that would be kind of a fun thing to do for a whole night. Of course, you want to do something, spooky. So you're going to have the paranormal, the gallery reading and stuff. But I thought, let's just make it not the whole thing. Let's just, start out with some laughs. It'll get you warmed up. And then you can have a psychic. And then I just kind of said, you can just dance like no one's watching. So.
There is some talk about in New Orleans doing a haunted theater next year. Not this year. Can't do it this year, but in 27, take over a haunted theater for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggested maybe having a New Orleans band.
Oh, there you go. That would be fun.
And if we've got the famous Goat Man as a guest, he's not doing too much this year. He just had an epidural, by the way. So he's not doing that much traveling. He appears at a few places, but he still has issues from his accident. And I hope he gets over them very quickly. But maybe we can talk to him in 27 and let him do something similar to what you've got. Because he was a Las Vegas comedian.
Oh, okay.
And we can get a New Orleans band, say Tuba Skinny. Yeah, that would be interesting. I might be something I talk over with Christopher and Jen. So I appreciate that idea. That is, Christopher was trying to think about what we could do with the theater other than just investigate. So you've given me that idea. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully, I'm hoping it works out because I'll be out a lot of money if it doesn't.
And by the way, you can. Hello, Gwen.
Hey, so I have a question because I sort of must have missed part of it. Where exactly is the Boyd House located?
That's in Boyd, Minnesota. So it's about 145 miles southwest of the Twin Cities.
Okay. I thought so. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people up there, so I can put it out to them too.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course. I'd be glad to. But anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting you guys, but I was just very curious and I was trying to not have to look everything up at the exact second. So here you go. Y'all go back to do your thing.
So that is a thought. You might want to get the video, as soon as you get it done.
Right.
A Canva's real easy. It's real. It's what I've heard people say in the military is kind of idiot proof. It saves it automatically for you. It's got if you goof up, you got the redo, and it goes one step backwards, and you can hit that as many times as you want to, just to completely erase everything you've done if you messed it all up. So it's easy, and you've got the nicer deluxe service. So you can start a video, and I think you send it to Gwen and Lutriana, and we can start playing it, whenever you get to us.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'll work on that. And I figure I can figure that out because I do that video editing anyway with us, but different program, obviously. But I figure it would probably be similar, probably be easier actually.
Yeah, it is easy. I hate editing videos. I've used other editing software. I have a hard time doing it. I hate doing it. Canva is fun.
Yeah,
it makes me something I dreaded into something that's fun.
Yeah.
So I thank them for that.
Yeah, I just love creating things and doing stuff like that. So I'm always like making little posters, flyers, and things like that. But like I said, I just discovered that they do the video thing. So that's I just told my husband the other day, I said, come look at this. And then he had like a spooky looking one. And I was like, this opens a whole new world, I said.
Gwen, could you throw up the banner that I made? It's for the show. Gwen? Hello? Well, we'll get up.
Yeah, which one are you looking for?
The actual banner for the show.
You talking about this?
Yes, with Bill's picture on it.
Okay.
It's got the pictures of both locations right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this was made on Canva.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I do a lot of my stuff on Canva also.
It's got the 3 pictures you sent me put on one of the deluxe backdrops. And I made this in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it turned out good. Turned out really good.
And here you can see the 2 locations that we're talking about, the Boyd House and the Masonic Lodge. That's what they look like. So you're arriving at the right location when you see them.
Oh, I think you'll know. You'll go, oh, this is spooky.
They look like haunted locations. But you can go ahead and take that down. That's just what you can do with Canva with just their still stuff, not video. So it's an amazing program, and it's worth every dime you pay for it.
Yeah, I do like it. And my daughter, she does some video or photography work, and so she told me about it. I tried it for free, and I'm like, I'm buying it because I was like, all the ones I wanted to use, you had to pay for anyway. So I'm like,
right,
let's do it.
That's how I got into it. I started using the free version, and I said, I've got to use this nicer stuff.
Right.
And you see what I can do with it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It's amazing.
Wait till they let people like us start to use AI stuff, though. I don't know how that's gonna go.
I don't know how to use my cell phone. My cell phone is smarter than I am.
Yeah, I know. My daughter said, "Why do you even have a phone?" So it's.
I never carry mine anywhere. So my wife asked the same question: why do you have a cell phone? You never take it anywhere. But let's go over everything you got to make sure everybody's got it. The Boyd House, where is it, and the website?
Yep, Boyd House in Boyd, Minnesota, and that's boydhouse217.com. And then the Masonic Lodge is in Keysburg, Illinois, and that's haunted1861masonic.com.
And the Paracon?
Yep, and that, again, you can find it at boydhouse217.com, and that'll be this September 26th of 2026.
That sounds like a winner.
It'll be a good time.
Who is working with you now? Oh, Rez is in the room. At least he's in the comments. Hello, Rez.
Hello.
He lives up in that part of the country too. So he may be, if we can get Rez to show up. That would be interesting. He's an interesting person, very friendly, respectful, and he could hunt there and probably get results. He's a nice guy.
Very cool. Love to have him.
So that's just some. I live too far. I can't get up there. We're having to redo our house down here. This mini split's just part of it. We put this in not quite a year ago, about 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we're redoing the front of the house right now. And we've got to put another mini split in the bedroom at the other end of the house. So it costs a little bit of money, and I don't have that much travel money, and I've got to get down to New Orleans.
I know, and the travel is so expensive. We're going to go to that the Ohio Paracon there over in Mansfield.
Okay.
In May, and yeah, it was like $1,000 just to fly. I mean, we bought tickets, but I was like, oh.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Riz says he's always down for new adventure and shenanigans, and I think you can provide him with some new adventure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going down there. So it's not just being in the the community. There's people watching's fun. So.
Who works with you in doing all this? I know you don't do it all by yourself, do you?
Yeah, pretty much. I got my husband. He just says I'm the maintenance guy. That's what he calls himself.
Okay.
And then my teammates and friends will help out at the Boyd House as well, or even at the convention. Most of as far as like the convention and stuff, that's all me just doing all that. And I got a great group of, of volunteers that come down and they help, with some, running t-shirt sales and food sales and things like that. So I really, really couldn't do it without them. So I really appreciate everybody who, gives their time to help make this a great event. So. And again, that's the paranormal community willing to help out and give you a lending hand when need be. So,
are you going to be selling T-shirts at the convention?
Oh yeah. We made a really cool. Teresa, my teammate, she's really creative, but she made a pretty good skeleton, kind of doing the rock and roll sign, and it said Boyd 2025 on it. So we sold all our T-shirts. So I was pretty excited about that.
Yes.
It's like, if I don't sell, I don't know what I'm going to do with them because they say 2025 on them. So it's like,
we're going to get some new ones printed up 2026. They have a few for the Paracon.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get something. I don't know if we're what kind of design we're gonna do on the shirts this year. I'll let Teresa figure that out. But my husband's cousin does T-shirt printing, so kind of gives us a little deal on that.
Yeah, there you go. It's always nice to have an inside deal.
Oh yes.
Well, is there anything else we need to cover tonight?
I think we got quite a bit covered this evening. So yeah.
I've had you talking for an hour 15 now.
Yeah, that's quite a while.
That's quite a while. You put out a lot of good information about your 2 haunted locations and your Paracon in September.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to come out and experience both the lodge, the Boyd House, come down to the Paracon. And just have a great time. All right.
What's the websites one more time?
Yep, BoydHouse217.com or haunted1861masonic.com.
All right. I think we pretty well got it covered, laminated and ready for delivery. And Gwen, have you got anything you want to comment on tonight?
Well, everybody that knows Blaine Rohan that's on the network, he's going to be on Monster Quest Friday night. So please watch all the episodes, but he's going to be there Friday night. So we would love for you to watch that. That'd be nice. And besides that, no, I've been enjoying listening to the stories about the locations. So,
Jill has some stories to tell,
I
She's
bet
been
she's got
telling a
more
lot of
that
them.
she hasn't told us yet, too.
I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of travel stories. I got a lot of Lodge and Boyd stories. So yeah, there's always something going on.
Yeah, sounds interesting. But no,
I
I'm
think
good. I appreciate it.
I think we can talk about a lot more if you come back on sometime in August.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to.
Maybe we can kind of set a tentative, maybe the second week in August. Have you
Yeah.
back on the show, and we can talk a little bit about the locations, but really harp on the Paracon.
Yeah, perfect. I would love to do that. And then I'll have that video done by then for sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, try to get a little bit earlier so we can send it to Gwen and we can start playing it and say this is coming up at this location at this address, and here's the website and here's the guest.
Yep, for sure. I will do that.
All right. You got any questions, Gwen, for Jill?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Just thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was my pleasure.
Jill, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I'm thank you for all the information you've thrown out. I thank you for all the work you are doing with 2 locations that you're providing for people to come in and investigate. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me again.
All right, and we will see you again. Excuse me. If anything comes up, just buzz me on Facebook Messenger.
Will do.
You get the video done, just ship it off to Gwen on Facebook Messenger. And sometimes it doesn't go through, you can send it to her by email. Y'all can figure it out. And love to work with you a little bit. We're getting some guests to your Paracon and to your locations.
Yeah, perfect.
So thank you very much, Jill.
Yeah, thank you.
And you have a good night. And if you want to stick around and just chit chat for a little while, we'll get out of the show and we can chit chat for a little bit if you want to.
I gotta hop off and get to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. But it was a pleasure talking with you.
Jill, it's always a pleasure talking with you. I'll chit chat with you anytime you want to.
Oh, I'd love to. Thanks, Len.
All right. You have a fantastic night, and I wish you all the luck there is in your locations and your upcoming Paracon.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. All right. That's it for tonight, folks. I'm sorry if I've had a little getting over the cold or flu or whatever I had, the bug I had earlier this week. But at least I was able to get through the show and have not lost my voice yet. So we are going to get out of here. Next week, we have another guest. Who was it? No, yeah. Jenny Davis. I do not have any plans for the next week. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about a Paracon they're going to or have, or a location they have or they're going to and want to talk about their paranormal group, be sure to hit me up on Messenger, on YouTube, Facebook, and we can talk about it and get you on the show pretty darn quick, like in about 2 weeks if you hit that first, or 2 or 3 weeks, because I'm kind of open territory after that. All right, we're going to bid good night and go ahead and close it down. And just remember, the paranormal never sleeps. Good night, everybody.